Everything glittered in the Gilded Age, but not everything was gold. Behind velvet curtains and ballroom smiles, secrets are about to explode. And in episode 6, the price of power might finally be paid. The Gilded Age has never looked more beautiful or more dangerous. As season 3 continues, episode 6 promises to dive deeper into the glittering chaos of New York's elite. The city is changing fast, and so are the people at the top of its golden towers. Every family, every name, every reputation is at stake. And if we've learned anything from past episodes, it's this: no one stays safe for long when money, love, and pride collide. Episode 6 stands at a tipping point. It's where quiet whispers turn into public scandals, where polite dinners become battlegrounds, and where every look, every word, every step at a society ball could make or destroy a legacy. As the lights shine on Fifth Avenue and the orchestras play, some are dancing toward power, while others are hiding from ruin. But it's not just about the lavish dresses or the candlelit dinners. It's about what's going on behind them, what's being said when the doors are closed, who's plotting to rise and who's about to fall. That's the real drama of the Gilded Age, and episode 6 promises to deliver all of it in a way that might change everything for our favorite characters. From Bertha Russell's bold ambitions to the old money families clinging to tradition, the battlefield is set. This isn't just another night in New York high society, it's a war of values, names, and futures. And the lines are about to be redrawn. So whether you've been following from the start or you're catching up, episode 6 is the one to watch closely. The stakes are higher, the secrets are deeper, and the consequences, they're just around the corner. Last week's episode didn't just move the story forward, it pulled back the silk veil on every simmering rivalry and delicate alliance. Episode 5 was the kind of hour that didn't need shouting, it whispered. And that whisper was more dangerous than a scream. At the center of it all stood Bertha Russell, unshaken and unrelenting. After securing a controversial invitation to the opera gala, she made it clear, old money might have the history, but new money is learning how to play their game and play it better. Bertha's eye was on a seat not just in the ballroom, but in the heart of society itself. And she's willing to burn bridges made of gold if it means building her own palace. Meanwhile, Marian Brook's quiet rebellion continued to unfold. Her choices are becoming bolder, less safe, and more honest. In a world that demands silence from women like her, Marian is beginning to speak in ways that shock even herself. Her growing closeness with Mr. Dashiell Montgomery is no accident, it's a spark. But in a city like this, sparks catch fast, and not everyone welcomes fire. And then, of course, there's George Russell, the titan of industry with the weight of a steel empire on his shoulders. Last episode saw him face growing pressure from labor unrest and boardroom politics. His business decisions are not just about profits anymore, they're about legacy. Every handshake, every contract is a gamble. And George knows the house doesn't always win. But beyond the Russells and the Brooks, episode 5 gave us glimpses of other chess moves, too. Oscar Van Ryn's ambitions remain tangled in deception and charm. Gladys is finding her own footing, stepping out of her mother's shadow. And Agnes is watching it all with a steel gaze, holding onto her values with clenched fists while the world around her changes faster than she can bear. What episode 5 did masterfully was this: it set the stage, it moved every piece into place, and it left us with one simple, breathless question: what happens next? Because when appearances matter more than truth, and everyone has something to hide, it's only a matter of time before masks slip and secrets spill. As we look ahead, everything in this world of pearls and power feels like it's teetering on the edge. In episode 6, we can expect the cracks to spread wider right under the polished surface of New York's high society. Let's begin where ambition burns the brightest. Bertha Russell. After clawing her way into spaces once guarded by centuries, of old money, she now faces her most critical test yet. Rumors are circling that her next move may involve taking over the opera board entirely, a bold challenge to Mrs. Astor's quiet rule. But power doesn't come without a cost, and this time, Bertha may not just be fighting for influence. She may be risking everything she's built. Will her hunger for status finally go too far? Or will she prove, once again, that the future belongs to those brave enough to demand it? Meanwhile, George Russell finds himself cornered in a way that money can't fix. Business troubles are closing in, from strikes on the factory floors to backroom betrayals at the railroad office. He's built his fortune on strength and strategy, but in episode 6, it seems the very empire he's created might be showing its first real signs of weakness. The question is, will George bend or break? On the quieter, more personal front, Marian Brook's journey takes a dramatic turn. After stepping outside the bounds of what society expects, she'd be forced to make a choice that could either free her or trap her forever. Her growing connection with Mr. Montgomery won't stay hidden for long, and the walls are beginning to whisper. Aunt Agnes, with her ironclad beliefs, may soon discover the truth. And if she does, Marian's future in the household and perhaps her future in society could hang by a thread. Then there's Oscar Van Ryn, whose double life grows increasingly hard to manage. In episode 6, we're likely to see him pushed to make a decision: continue living in shadows or risk everything by stepping into the light. He's charming, calculated, and clever, but the problem with masks is that they eventually slip, and someone close to him may already know more than he thinks. And don't overlook Gladys Russell. She's not the obedient daughter anymore. There are signs that in this episode, she may finally start to shape her own destiny, not her mother's plans, not society's expectations, hers, and that could mean conflict, heartbreak, or both. Episode 6 will be rich in tension and heavy with consequence. The dancing may continue, the candles may still flicker at midnight dinners, but underneath, the social order is shifting. Quiet alliances may form in shadowed corners, reputations will be tested, and the cost of keeping secrets will start to feel very, very real. Because in the Gilded Age, nothing is ever given freely, not love, not power, and certainly not forgiveness. Let's begin with Bertha Russell, the most unstoppable force in this season so far. She's not just playing the game of high society anymore, she's trying to rewrite the rules entirely. Bertha's climb has been relentless, from being dismissed by the old money elite to nearly dominating the social calendar. She has shown the kind of boldness and strategy that rivals any Wall Street tycoon. But episode 6 is about more than invitations and status. It's about legacy. About power that lasts. We're hearing that Bertha will make a public power move that shocks even her supporters. It may involve the opera, or perhaps something more personal, a statement that no one in old New York can ignore. But there's a cost to climbing too fast. Her marriage, her friendships, and even her daughter's trust may start to crack. And for a woman like Bertha, the hardest part isn't the fight, it's what happens after you win. Behind the diamonds and determination, Bertha is still deeply human. She wants respect. She wants belonging. She wants to build something that can't be taken from her. But episode 6 may force her to ask, how much must I sacrifice to be remembered? Now, turn your eyes to Marian Brook. At first glance, she's soft-spoken, well-mannered, and cautious. But look closer, and you'll see something new emerging, a quiet kind of rebellion. Marian has spent much of her life obeying rules she never agreed with, standing in the shadow of stronger voices. But not anymore. In episode 6, Marian begins to step into her own story. Her choices are no longer guided by what others expect. Whether it's in her personal life or her growing independence, she's beginning to act with purpose. Her relationship with Dashiell Montgomery could deepen, but not without raising serious tension in the Van Ryn household. Aunt Agnes has built her entire world on tradition and restraint. Marian? She's slowly realizing she may not want either. Asterisk, but Marian's strength isn't loud. It's in the way she refuses to compromise her heart. It's in her quiet resolve. And that makes her dangerous to a world that depends on women staying silent. Asterisk, what makes this episode especially thrilling is that both Bertha and Marian are fighting for the same thing control over their own lives, just in completely different arenas. One does it through wealth and spectacle. The other through choices that seem small, but could shake the ground beneath her. Asterisk, so as episode 6 draws near, watch these two women closely. Their stories may be different, but their courage is the same. And in a world made of silk, silver, and secrets, it's the ones who speak softly that often make the loudest noise. Asterisk, beneath the gowns, the titles, and the glittering chandeliers. The Gilded Age has always been about more than appearances. It's about the cost of ambition, the hunger for belonging, the fear of being left behind. And in episode 6, those themes begin to pull harder on every character, tightening like silk ribbons around a powder keg. Asterisk,